Hold on tight, Hoops fans, because the game is changing. The NCAA is about to explode the men's and women's basketball tournaments to 76 teams each, a massive shift reported by ESPN's Pete Thamel, and it's happening for the 2026-27 season. That's right, 8 more teams will be battling for March glory, and the first 4 is becoming the first *12 with games at 2 locations, including Dayton. Seth Davis has been breaking down the factors behind this decision, and we've got all the details coming up.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
But hold the celebrations, because this expansion isn't sitting well with everyone. Yardbarker is sounding the alarm, calling it a potential death knell for mid-major programs. Pete Thamel's reporting is again at the center of this, as the expanded tournament threatens to further marginalize those Cinderella stories we all love. With 24 teams now fighting just to get into the 64-team bracket, will we see fewer upsets and more power conference dominance? We'll dive into the implications for those underdog teams. And the questions keep coming. Forbes is reporting that while the NCAA is finalizing media contracts, this expansion isn't about a huge financial windfall. Instead, it's about access, driven by the power conferences wanting more teams in the tournament. The first 4 is out, replaced by an opening round of 12 games, and the debate rages on, will your bracket picks even matter with this new format? We'll break down how this impacts your March Madness pools. Finally, Yahoo Sports confirms the NCAA is in the final steps of this massive overhaul, with ESPN, CBS, and TNT all involved in the media deals. Despite fan backlash, the expansion to 76 teams is barreling forward, promising more games, more access for power conferences, and a potentially altered March Madness experience. Don't miss our in-depth coverage of all these changes. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single update. In a landmark decision poised to reshape college basketball, the NCAA is expanding both the men's and women's basketball tournaments to 76 teams, a move expected to be finalized in the coming weeks and implemented for the 2026-27 season. This represents the most significant tournament expansion in decades, exceeding the increases to 64 teams on the men's side in 1985 and the women's in 1994. The expansion will add 8 at-large bids to the men's tournament and dramatically alter the first 4 round. That initial stage will grow from 8 teams and 4 games in Dayton to 24 teams competing in 12 games across 2 locations, with Dayton likely remaining a host site. Sources indicate the driving force behind the change was increased access for teams, spearheaded by the power conferences, though a modest financial upside is also anticipated to offset increased logistical costs. The decision comes as the number of Division I teams has grown substantially since the last major expansion, from 282 to 364, making the current 68-team format increasingly selective. The landscape of March Madness is set to dramatically shift, as the NCAA is poised to expand both the men's and women's tournaments to a 76-team field starting in the 2026-27 season. ESPN's Pete Thamel and others have confirmed the move, which has been under discussion for over a year, will be formalized in the coming weeks. This expansion raises serious concerns about the future of mid-major programs who already face challenges in the NIL and transfer portal era. A key change involves the first 4 evolving into a first 12, with 24 teams battling for a spot in the main bracket, a significant increase from the current 8. All 16 seeds and half of the 15 seeds will now compete on the opening Tuesday and Wednesday, diminishing the chances of Cinderella stories and upsets against more rested top seeds. Fewer mid-major champions will also secure coveted spots on the traditional Thursday and Friday opening rounds. Critics often cite low ratings and one-sided losses, but the expansion appears to prioritize power conference teams, with examples like Auburn, Oklahoma, and Indiana, all teams with losing records, potentially making the field under the new format. This move, some argue, devalues the tournament, transforming qualification into a form of participation trophy, particularly for teams outside of the major conferences. San Diego State was the last mid-major to reach the second weekend, highlighting the increasing difficulty for these programs to advance. The expansion signals a potential shift away from rewarding the best teams and towards prioritizing established powerhouses. In a major shakeup for college basketball, the NCAA is poised to expand the March Madness tournament to 76 teams, beginning next season. This marks the most significant tournament expansion in decades, impacting both the men's and women's brackets. Currently, the tournament features 68 teams, with a first four play-in round. That format will be replaced by a new opening round, consisting of 12 games featuring 24 teams, split between automatic and at-large conference bids, played across 2 locations. One confirmed to be Dayton, Ohio, a traditional host for play-in games. The remaining 52 teams will automatically qualify for the 64-team main bracket. While NCAA officials finalize updated media contracts, sources indicate the expansion won't yield substantial financial gains, but rather a modest financial upside. The change may not immediately affect the notoriously difficult odds of a perfect bracket, currently 1 in 9.2 quintillion, if bracket platforms don't integrate the expanded opening round into user picks, mirroring their current handling of the first 4 games. This is a developing story, and further updates will be provided as they become available. Brace yourselves, bracketologists. The NCAA tournament is about to get a whole lot bigger. According to ESPN's Pete Thamel, the NCAA is in the final steps of expanding both the men's and women's tournaments to a staggering 76 teams, with the changes slated to take effect for the 2026-27 season. Officials recently met with media partners, including ESPN, CBS Sports, and TNT Sports, and while media contracts are nearing completion, they haven't been officially signed. Don't expect a massive financial boost, however. The expansion primarily involves adding 8 play-in games on the Tuesday and Wednesday preceding the traditional Thursday start, games considered among the least valuable in the tournament. While ESPN won't be paying additional rights fees for the women's tournament, CBS and TNT are expected to see a modest increase. The driving force behind this expansion isn't money, but access. Power conferences are pushing to ensure more of their teams secure bids to the big dance. The new format will see 24 teams battling it out in those play-in games, with teams seeded 9, 10, and 11 now needing to earn their spot. This means 8 teams previously guaranteed a place in the 64-team bracket will now face elimination. The scheduling of these additional games remains unclear, but expect television windows to potentially shift into daytime hours. And while the NCAA moves forward, fan reaction has been decidedly negative, with many questioning this significant alteration to a beloved sporting tradition. The future of this expanded tournament, and the public's perception of it, remains to be seen.